I'll be honest with y'all. I don't smoke weed, but I let people think I do. Because it makes me make more sense to people. Like if I told you my thoughts and you knew I was sober, you'd be like, ooh, is he slow or something? What's going on? But if I told you my thoughts and you thought I was high, you'd be like, he really on to something. I like how he thinks. That's fire right there. I'll give you an example right now. Like I wish I could talk to bugs. And not all the animals. I'm not trying to get input from everybody, just bugs. Because I feel like it would save a lot of lives, you know. Because how many times have you been at home chilling and in the corner of the room you just hear... But if you could talk to bugs, if you could be like, hey, bruh, no. Not tonight. I'm not in the mood. I'm gonna open the window, I'm gonna need you to leave. And then he'd be like, sorry. But because we don't speak their language, it's just every time. It's just murders in your house. Let's say you bring somebody home, you have a date, date's going well, date comes back with you to your place, you in the Netflix portion of the Netflix and chill. You got the arm around, y'all making out, and then just a cockroach walk out to the middle of the room. If you could just be like, Carl, no. Not tonight, I got company here, come on now. Come on, bro. He'd be like, I'm sorry, that's my bad. Even she'd be understanding. She'd be like, he had no way of knowing I was coming. It happens. If I could talk to bugs, first bug that I talk to would be a praying mantis. I just walk up to him and be like, she ain't good for you, dog. Nah, don't do this. You and the boys for a little while. She just using you for your body, okay? No, not even sex. You got a tasty ass head. And she wants to eat you. I watch the news sometimes when I'm like not depressed enough, you know? You know, sometimes you're having a good day, you turn on the news, you're like, let's see who else is having a good day. And the news is like, nobody. Nobody having a good day. Everybody died. So I turned on the news and I saw Kamala Harris was in Jakarta. And she was in an interview with a journalist. And during the interview, the journalist asked her if she would be ready, willing, and able to take up the office of president if Biden was, for whatever reason, incapacitated. And she said, yes, and it was just too quick. That's way too fast. And don't get me wrong, that's literally her job. Her job to be there in case he not there, she there, right? That's her whole job. But she said yes, like she been dropping banana peels at the White House for years. That's way too fast. She said yes, like every time Biden get on some steps, her mouth water. Just like, oh, okay, it's the day. All right, I'm gonna get my promotion. Oh, he about to miss that third step. Let me get the right pantsuit on. She said it like just anytime she's walking down the stairs behind him, she sees her hair shaking like she about to lean forward. I could be a world leader. And you could tell, she could tell she said yes too fast. Because she said, yeah, so he asked her, she was like, yes, ooh. Like, shit. And so then she started backtracking, which just made it sound worse. She was like, I'm just answering your hypothetical. Like, you the one over here asking a question about Biden's stronger than ever. All right, calm down. Do y'all see they want to impeach Biden now? Do you see they're trying to open the investigation and impeach Biden? It's starting to feel like if you don't get impeached, you weren't really president. Like this started to feel like street cred for presidents. You know what I mean? They want to impeach it. Here's my thing about Biden. And calm down, because I can already feel it. For real. Like I said 2 words and already people were like, what? Like it was. This is what's so annoying about being American right now. You get like 2 words in and people try to suss out where you are. Like we haven't done that since the Civil War. Like chill out. I said two things. I just said, here's my thing about Biden. And immediately, I could feel y'all's eyes on me like, oh, I didn't know they invited Candace Owens' brother to do a set. No, here's my thing about Biden. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you show me evidence, I'll consider something. I'm not a biased person. Maybe he doing everything that the Republicans say he doing, but when we look over at him, he just look tired. Like, he doesn't look, I mean, I'm not even saying he can't be corrupt. I'm saying he doesn't look capable right now. He look, you know, maybe he's the worst criminal that we've ever had in the office, but when you look over at him, he just look like the Snoop Dogg of soup. You know what I mean? Yeah, everything Snoop Dogg did for weed, Biden doing for soup right now. Like, he making soup cool. He trying to get the kids into soup, you know what I mean? Like, it feels odd, you know? Because it's like, maybe he's a criminal mastermind, but it feels like he just hanging on. You know what I mean? That's a grandpa, and we put him to work. We did that, you know? You can't possibly believe that Biden is this criminal mastermind, but then also anytime he make it through a speech, we're like, that was pretty good. That was like, no, he really crushed that. He didn't slip on any of the S's. That was well done. You know what I mean? There was a couple T's, and he stuck them like Simone Biles. I'm really proud of it. Well done. You know, there is one thing I will say, honestly, that Biden will be doing that's not on the up and up. If you watch as many press conferences as I watch with Biden talking, it's only when they ask him a good-ass question he start acting senile. I'm not gonna lie. Like, anytime they got a good-ass question dead to rights, that's when he start talking about Disneyland and hanging out on Mars with Larry Bird. I'm like, you were fine a second ago. Like, you know, this feels weird. I don't know why more world leaders don't do that. You know, a lot of them old, just start doing the Biden card. You get in trouble. That's what Putin should do. Think about it. Putin would buy a lot of goodwill if he just fell down a flight of steps every day. If every day for a month, Putin just, like just every day. You'd be catching people a month from now being like, he's a fucking war criminal. And we'd be like, yeah, but it looked like he got bad knees. Leave him alone. They try to interview him. They're like, why are you still laying siege to Ukraine? And he's like, Ukraine? Is that one of my grandbabies? Like, and they're even coming for Hunter now. You saw Hunter got indicted. That's wild. That's oof. They really coming for the Bidens hard, you know? I love Hunter. I really do. I really do. No, hear me out. I do. I love Hunter because I'm just so glad that the first person to smoke crack in the White House was white. That's beautiful. That is absolutely incredible. Especially if you know the history of crack in the U.S. You're like, wow, yes. Thank goodness. It really makes the White House to crack relationship feel like it's come full circle now. Yeah? I am disappointed, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do wish that Hunter would just get Joe to smoke crack. That would be the most fire presidency of all time. I know nobody's on board with this, but hear me out, okay? First of all, Biden will never fall again, all right? Crackheads do not fall, okay? You could push Biden and he still hit an angle. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, he'd never go down again. You'd never have to worry. He would skip steps on the way up. My man would be fucking feeling himself. You'd never have a boring press conference again. Biden press conferences are snooze fest right now. Just, you know what I mean? Not on crack. Not on crack. Not on crack. He'd be like, what? What was that? He got to scream because he sold the mic for money for more crack. But like, what was that? And Republicans would love if Biden was on crack because he'd finally be as bad of a president as they've been saying he is. Republicans could finally be like, he sold Indiana for $6 to China, all right? What the fuck we gonna do? We got citizens over there. And then as liberals, we would love if Biden was on crack. because we'd finally have a Trump. You know what I mean? We act like we don't need a Trump, but we need one. We really do. As liberals, we need a Trump. We care about everybody feeling us too much, but we get Biden smoking crack, Joe just going off. He not in control of what he's saying. We'd finally have a bully on our side, you know? Marjorie Taylor Greene be up there like, Joe Biden, you're a piece of shit. And then Joe, fully cracked out. It's like, oh, Mart, I'm a piece of shit? Well, you a lonely bitch. Aren't you getting divorced this year? Hope those conspiracy theories could keep you warm, lonely bitch. Oh, it'd be incredible. You would have to like rein him in though. You'd see Joe try to wash the windshields of Air Force One. Mr. President, get down. Get down right now. Oh, it would be dope, man. How do I put this? I'll be honest with you, I've watched some porn before in my life. Thank you. And this is my thing. Porn, it gives people unrealistic expectations, you know what I mean? And we all know what they say about men, that porn gives men unrealistic expectations of sex, because porn makes men think, oh, if I just touch her elbow with my penis, she gonna lose it, you know what I mean? Like, if I just touch you, I'm like, ah! Thank you. But it's not just for men, it's for everyone. Porn gives everyone unrealistic expectations of sex, you know? Like, it makes men think that they're about to be sex gods, and it makes women think that the sex is about to be, like, good or whatever, you know what I mean? Everybody's gonna be disappointed. Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I am getting a call, so I'm not doing great. 1 second. 1 second. I'm here again. I'm back. Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Everything's fine. I'm doing all right, man. I think we're about to get some nasty weather here in Iowa. Have you guys been getting hit with anything yet? Not to open with weather talk, but
I mean, it's only nasty if you're not freaky. You know what I mean? Like, this is good.
Nope. I hate what you just said.
Nah, like, this is just good weather for, like, if you cuddled up with somebody and like, oh no, we can't leave, maybe we should.
Only nasty if you're not freaky.
Yeah, like maybe we shouldn't leave. Maybe it's nice being warm together,
It's a real baby. It's cold outside situation.
Not really, because you live together in this scenario. This isn't a visitor. That baby, it's cold outside.
Wait, sorry. Are you role playing as me talking to Jess right now?
No, I'm role playing as anybody talking to anybody that lives with anybody.
Okay, because for a second I thought it was.
No, that'd be weird. Baby, don't go out and save lives tonight. Like that'd be wild. No. I'm.
They really need me at the hospital. Nah, girl, come on. The fire is warm. She's like, we don't have a fireplace. Where did you start a fire?
Hey, you know who needs reviving?
This dick.
Well, it takes all the mystery out of it when you say it.
I know. I regret saying it, but it was also funny to me. Well, hey, man.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's holiday season, and you want to do a little holiday mailbag?
We are. We're going to be doing a
little Santa
holiday
sack of emails?
Mailbag, a full-on Santa sack of emails. But also, can you do the thing that you've done before where, like, we'll take turns reading them? So just, like, shoot me anything that you want me to read.
I figure I can do that, or since we're not like really doing video, I can probably just screen share the emails with you.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you can just
that
read
sounds
them.
good.
I think we might do it that way.
Yeah, so we wanted to give back in the form of giving you what you gave us. You know, it's a real regifting of the holiday. You were kind enough to send things in, so we want to read them. We want to share our thoughts on the things that you think with us, with you.
Yeah. Now, when you put it that way, it does sound shitty because basically,
What do you mean?
the gift we're giving, is just announcing what people have given us, and we're like, "You're welcome. We gave it back."
No. But it's like, imagine if somebody gave you a gift and you could add to it. So if I gave you a car and then you got it detailed, it'd be an even better car.
But then saying it's a gift to you because I got my car detailed.
It is. You're giving me a car back? Thank you, brother.
Oh, see, now
Appreciate
that's
you.
what I'm saying. Is you're saying
Yeah.
that's where the communication wasn't lined up because I wasn't giving it back. I was sending you a picture of it detailed, being like, "Merry Christmas, buddy."
You would do that. That's exactly who you are as a person. So yeah, let's get into it. You know, if you want to take the first one.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. I'll go ahead and screen share with you right now so we can both see them as we go here.
let's
maybe
let's get weird. Let's get freaky with it.
let's get weird. Let's get freaky. Baby, it's cold outside. Which one do we want to start with here? You know, I'll start with this one because I've had a couple people mention this to me. But this is from Kiera, and the title is Subreddit for Tiny Town and Squirrels. Now, changing it to Tiny Town instead of Toontown kind of goes, and then Squirrels. So this is an abstract change to both of our nicknames from Toontown and Squeaks to Tiny Town and Squirrels, which I don't hate actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you'll remember, it actually sounds like our Bizarro forms. Like, like it sounds like there's going to be like just a more extreme version of each of us running around that is Tiny Town and Squirrels. Like Squirrels like actually like needs to get LASIK. Like actually cannot really see. And then Tiny Town is got like a weird like bone fusion going on where his knees are just like real low to the ground. You know what I mean? Like he still
Right.
walks, but as far as a shin,
barely.
his shin is the size of a hand. Like we're talking like knee feet, right?
That's like a Hank Hill's dad from King of the Hill, where he doesn't
really?
have. Yeah, his shins were blown off in Korea, so they just grafted his feet to his knees. So he just has
No, I'm not
straight,
talking about
short
that
legs.
though. No,
Right.
he still has a little bit of shin.
Oh, still a little bit of shin. Okay.
Yeah, but just enough to look cartoonish.
Squirrels, I was just thinking it's literally like just clothing filled with squirrels masquerading as a man. Just
And for the voice box, it's just screams. It's just like
they got a little keyboard in there, but there's too many little paws, so they're just typing nonsense. Just 7.
yeah, that makes sense to me. That's
We've
what
really
it feels like.
this year the listeners have really created. We've gone beyond the JJU, the Josh Johnson universe, and now we've established the Josh Johnson multiverse. Because now there's Toontowns and Squeaks, there's Tiny Town and Squirrels, there's the Punisher and Iceman, or man with ice powers who hates puns. Like now there's a whole action figure line of the two of us.
There's a lot more going on. I'll admit. I think that some of it is good and some of it has been counterproductive. Like I think that there are some things within.
Some of it has been What has been counterproductive?
I don't know if the bathroom detective should actually like stay in the universe. I think that like I enjoy it and we're gonna put out that, you know, that trilogy, but I also think like, is this who I am when I listen back to it? Like
Well, I won't reveal too much, but I've been going through the tallies of people's favorite episodes, and I will say that character doesn't not make a showing. How about that? How about that for?
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. What we have become.
We have a lot of enablers out there.
Yeah. Incredible.
Anyway, sorry. Back to this email from Kiera. Subreddit for Tiny Town and Squirrels. Please, it's so late and like everything is fucking funny. So I typed the subject of the email, and of course autocorrect fucked up my words, but made me laugh. So I'm gonna keep it there. So okay, so Tiny Town and Squirrels was actually autocorrect. Hey J-Lo, I recently made a subreddit for the Josh Johnson Show on Reddit. I got tired of having no one to discuss the show with without sounding not like myself. I mean, I said sorry about your Brain King at a gathering, and the guys thought I was referring to an NFL game. So then they started asking me questions about football. All I wanted to do was drop a dope-ass line from the show, and it turned into me getting questioned about who plays for the insert any football name here, because most men are assholes who want to badger you for knowing anything. That does sound like us.
I mean, I'd like to dispute, but I have been around people my whole life.
That's the thing. I try my best to not be one of those people, but I know me trying to not be one of those people is because by default we are those people.
Yeah, I've tried really hard. I've definitely, you know what it's led me to though? Now I actually don't help people.
No, dude, that was when like mansplaining
really
was like
become a
talked
thing.
about a lot. I got to a point where I was like, I'm not explaining anything to anyone, even if they really want my help.
Yeah, it's like it's really not worth it. So I'm just
It's not worth enough.
I mean, I'm sure that they'll figure it out.
Yeah. I tend to start with the question of just like, do you want me to tell you? I found just an easy way to avoid that.
As someone who had to leave someone who was stuck in a grate, I've stopped helping. Never want to be that guy.
Even the email says here, sorry, got sidetracked. Well, so did we. Back to Reddit. While I made the sub, I have no idea how to moderate a Reddit thread, nor do I want to. I think the J-Lo community, well, the J-Lo community, I think is something else.
Yeah, the J-Lo, what a mix-up that would be to
That
get
would
like
be-
on
oh,
a Jennifer
man.
Lopez subreddit and then be like, man, y'all ever get your brain injured?
I'm not saying I want people to do that, but I also want people to do that. I think the J-Lo community has enough common sense to make the subreddit a living hell since we're not talking about anything outside of the show, and the show itself is far from problematic. Thank you. That being said, I'm hoping this email will be read on the show for the very reason of bringing the J-Lo community together to laugh at episodes, make inside jokes, and whatever else Redditors do in subreddits. Yeah, I don't understand what people do in subreddits, but I've had a few people send me this saying
Yeah.
like, hey, do you know there's a Reddit for you guys?
Yeah. So I would say that maybe, we can give it a shot. I can't make any promises just because of time constraints, but I would definitely be interested in giving it a shot at like hitting up the Reddit every once in a while with a question or you know what I mean?
maybe.
Like just something. That being said, I feel like, a lot of our movements are like a Reddit thread to begin with. So
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if we'll get involved with it at all, but I wanted to give it a shout out if someone's trying to create a community for people to get together and talk about the show. I figured may as well shout it out.
Yeah.
They have a link here, reddit.com/The Josh Johnson Show. So I don't know. We're not in charge of it. We're not moderators, but like, I'm all about because we've had people email in trying to be like, hey, can you send me the email to this person that emailed in because they sound cool and I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a setup. That sounds like
it sounds like it could either go great and make best friends or could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So this might be a good way for people to voluntarily meet up.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's all. Thanks for keeping me quietly giggling in public spaces and occasionally scaring my coworkers in office with my loud, sudden laughter. P.S. If you have a favorite subreddit or Reddit type interaction, would love to hear about it. For me, it's the relationship Reddit posts where someone is sharing a minor situation between them and a partner, and people instantly jump to, he is such an abusive piece of shit, you need to live him, over something like, my husband didn't eat all his dinner. I hope people do yoga for reaches that far. All right, bye. Sorry I talked way too much. But yeah, Josh Johnson Show subreddit. Best, Kiera. Thank you for that, Kiera.
Thank you so much, Kiera. That means a lot. We appreciate you. And thank you for, starting the subreddit. This could be the beginning of something really beautiful or really terrible. You know?
Yeah. And again, we make no promises that we'll check it at all. But
yeah, I'm what if it really is like a hellscape? Like as soon as we log on and we get like, oh no, I think the Nazis got to it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
a lot of frogs in here.
Kiera, be a moderator with an iron fist, I think is what we're trying to say here. Best of luck to you. Do you ever get on Reddit at all? I've never really. I don't really understand it. Every time I click on something for Reddit, I'm immediately thrown off by just how it's structured.
Yeah, it's
the most old man.
The way
I feel.
that it used to be structured, I think there's been a slight change, but the way that was structured when we were in college was
big yawn right in the middle of the words.
Was like really hard to read. I felt like the only people who enjoy that type of layout are people who can also code. Like,
yeah,
I just would, when I would see it in college, when I would even have a link of something that I clicked that took me to Reddit, I would immediately get upset. Like, I just hated looking at even the layout of it. And not that it's changed a lot, but maybe it's because the camera quality and all this other stuff has changed with the internet in general, that I feel less annoyed by the look of it.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you see an email here that you want to read?
Yeah, we have an email here that the subject line is Hurricane Sandy saved me from a dating app scam, which is already, thank you for this. Thank you so much for this gift.
That's quite the setup.
Okay. Right. Are you ready?
And we can say it's from Maggie. We can say
I was gonna say that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually say who they are at the time. Man, someday you'll understand how I do emails.
No, I understand how you do it. I just didn't know if I should do it the way you do it.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to, but go ahead.
So, are you ready? You all strapped in tight for what may very well be a true car accident of a story.
I don't know. I haven't read this one. This one did get selected purely because of the title.
Yeah, the fact that a hurricane saved you from anything means something bad was about to happen. All right. Hey, guys. I didn't find out about a secret family via a superstore, but I did catch a dating site scammer. I had just come back from being overseas for over a year. The guy I had been dating here and I weren't talking. Weren't taking off again, at least in my mind. So I thought, hey, I guess I could try one of these sites. I had exactly 4 responses before I ran screaming from it and have never ventured back. This might be long, but not as long and confusing as the toe fetish story, so hang in there. Anyway, the fact that there were 4 responses, that must have been 4 penises. It had to be. Like, it had to be just all penises. There's no way that you were like, hi, and someone was like, hi, and you were like, I'm out of here. Like,
well, it looks like all 4 are listed here. We got 4 numbers here.
Okay. Number 1, first guy, pictures of him in his military garb. I'm not a big fan of the military industrial complex, but thought, hey, let's chat. The story is that his family was killed in a car accident, blah, 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 which is already not
Maggie.
Great.
His family was killed in a car accident, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's such a grim response.
He was serving in Afghanistan. His story didn't ring true to me, and I left it alone. I'm not going to lie. You haven't given us enough information here for this person to outright look like a liar. Like, it sounds like 2 pretty bad things are happening to him. Like,
yeah. Now, I will say, if that was literally he sent one message and he opened with that, even true or not true, you should avoid that guy because he's going through something and you don't need to get wrapped up in, his trauma.
Have you noticed that like bots still don't? This is like going to be the next level of bot, I can assure you. But somehow bots still don't trauma dump. Like bots are still very much like, hello, hey, you're in my local area.
Yeah.
Do you like to read? I also like reading.
Yes. Hello, sexy. What doing?
Yes,
It's
exactly.
like-
There's never a bot that's like, hey, how are you? Thanks for asking. I'm not great.
Yeah, like, hey, how are you? I'm trying out this dating thing. You know, I've just really had a rough year, and I'm trying to better myself.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a man taking a swing.
That sounds like most people. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if a bot was like, how are you? Nice to meet you. They're all dead. It's like, oh my God. Because bots wouldn't be good at it at first.
They're all dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I've got my eye on you bag. The blah blah blah. I mean, if I saw the message, then I'd probably I'm gonna say be on your side, because I'm sure that if you're telling me that two very plausible things happened to is lying, they must have told you an outlandish story.
That's like I'm hoping the message had a clear red flag to being a scam or a game, but
Yeah.
if not, blah blah blah. Goddamn.
Also, the fact that these are two things that do happen to people is like,
All right, let's move on. We got 3 more of these dudes.
I know, but wow. Second guy, another military one. Are you at a base? Like, did you set your parameters in the app for 2 miles? Okay, second guy, another military one. This guy is in Syria, which was kind of interesting because Syria hadn't gotten all public at the time. And I thought, hey, we chatted. That does say that. I'm not doing that. We chatted. His family was also killed in a car accident, possibly with the other guy's family. Not sure. I was skeptical because his writing didn't seem like what an English speaker would typically write. Certainly not an American English speaker. But then I thought, okay, our public school system sucks. So maybe, though he was a major or something. So again, I thought, we are still just texting via the app. So I ask him where he's from. He says LA. So I say, LA is a big place. Whereabouts? He says Avalon. Well, I'm from California. And if I were from Catalina Island, I would brag about it. So I told him this and said, I thought he made that up. I asked him to give me more places he knew in the LA area. He sent back an alphabetized list of cities in the LA area. I'm really seeing where the blah, blah, blah came from now.
Yeah.
Even my LA friends wouldn't recite cities alphabetically. Only the Rain Man could do this. I said, goodbye, you liar.
Goodbye, you liar.
Can you imagine going to like an actual speed dating meetup, and when you sit down, the first person is like, hi, I'm Bob. My entire family was killed in a car accident, and I am in the 157th. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot to hand someone immediately. And then you switch seats, and the next guy's like, hi, I'm Chad. My entire family was killed in a car accident.
And then you're like, name all the cities you know.
Yeah. Just be like, where in Boston are you from? And it's like, oh, well, here's an itemized list of everything I've ever bought in Boston.
Goodbye, you liar.
All right. Number 3. This is where Hurricane Sandy enters the picture. This guy.
God, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's been a journey so far.
This guy is an architect living in New York, but is from Spain. So had that accent thing going in his favor, though sadly not French.
I think that's just saying their favorite accent is French, but yeah, someone from Spain living in New York, bringing in French accent is kind of a wild move.
Oh god. Okay. Sadly, not French. Sandy is barreling down on New York, and I express my concern. He is fine. Power's still on. All is good. We talk multiple times over the days of Sandy. He tells me about his son and how they would like to visit me. Dad mentioned his wife died in a car accident.
This must be a common scam to lead with a fucking Batman backstory.
Okay. I say, well, where do you live in New York City? And he says, White Plains. I am clearly not a trusting soul because I'm asking him where exactly. He finally gives me an address and says he has a nice apartment downtown. He says at some point, well, now that you and I have met and you aren't going to use your membership to this shit dating site, can we give it to a friend for him to use? I say, not sure, as I'm Googling his apartment address, which is the White Plains Post Office. Okay. I tell him I doubt there are nice apartments in the post office. He says there are.
Well, you know what? Good recovery.
Yeah. If he had been smart, he would have said, oh, no, that's where I get my mail. But instead, he insisted he lived there.
Or at least say above. There's apartments like above the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that can happen, I think. But
And he circles back to the idea of me giving my account information to him for his friend. I say, sorry, see you, liar. Okay, number 4. As I am recovering from that, I notice someone has waved or winked at me on the app. I look, and it is my ex.
oh,
Now I am calling him my ex, but he didn't really know it yet. But he is on the app, too. Over and out. Membership canceled. Miss Maggie.
oh,
You know what this whole thing feels like?
what was that?
When you really need a ride home, right? Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
so you open Uber, and Uber is surging. It's like $50 for what you know is a $20 ride.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're like, okay, let me just check Lyft. But Lyft, you go to Lyft, and Lyft is $60. And so then you go back to Uber, and then Uber's like, well, we meet again.
Yeah.
It's $70 now.
And every driver that you get connected with in their bio, it just says, my family is dead.
And then you try to hail a cab, and the cabbie is like, hey, my meter broke, is $80. And then you're like, is there no way that I'm going to get home? And then you see your ex wave at you.
Parked across the street, winking.
Yeah. Wow. And then you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to get in a car again. I think I'm on my bike from here on out.
I think I'm done with cars. I think I'm out. Here's a short one. This is so remember I can't remember if it was last week or a couple weeks ago, but about the the manager at work named Richard Balls.
Yeah.
So we got another response from the same person. I think we'd left the name off last time because they were talking about being high and talking about their manager. But this one just says, hey, just listen to the new episode where you talk about a person named Dick Balls. Well, I work at a hotel, and I had to check in a guest that was named Richard Balls. Richard shortens to Dick, so I had to hold back laughter while looking this man in the eyes and say, enjoy your stay, Mr. Balls. One of the funniest things in my entire life. Anyway, I'm quite stoned while writing this, but hope y'all have a good day. Which is very similar to the first email they sent. And that's why you can see here, I responded. I said, are you playing with us? Because the last Dick Balls email was from you. And then they sent back, this story is 100% serious, but I don't think I sent you the last Dick Balls story. But I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, the other one. It's from the same email about Dick Balls. So here's what I'm enjoying about this scenario. One, just love to know there's several Mr. Balls out there. Also, this person has clearly gotten so incredibly high that maybe they forgot they've met their boss twice.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think that is what's happening.
Because both those emails are from the same person and they're formatted like exactly the same way. They both end the exact same way.
That's so
and
funny.
that's why I responded, because I'm like, I don't want people emailing in thinking they can play with us. But like, and a part of it was also be like, you good? Did you? Is this a sorry about your brain king scenario?
That's so funny though. Like the fact that someone forgot is incredible.
That's great. Dude tells about a different dick ball, and even says, I just heard about you guys talking about it. Yeah. We were talking about your email. Speaking of weed, here's another short one. This is from Melissa, and I just like this one because it says, hey guys, y'all sure Josh doesn't smoke weed? Because he just asked, do you think teeth talk to each other? Before proceeding to describe a teeth house party where Logan's extra teeth are unwelcome guests. Anyway, keep up the excellent work. Cheers, Melissa. P.S. In the time it took me to type that, Josh has begun describing the absolute atrocity of Logan's long-lost dead twin he ate emerging from his fucked up teeth and saying, I'm here too. So I don't know, guys. I think he's almost high as I am.
Look,
Yeah. Now imagine what Josh would be like if he did get high. This is him sober.
yeah, this is all me. Yeah, I mean, like
That's
this is
all
like
me.
this is this is like, you know, like when someone's like, wow, are you on steroids? And it's like, nah, I'm all natty, baby. Like
Yeah. No,
this is my
just
natural
genetic
brains.
insanity.
Okay.
You're welcome for my brain,
Yeah.
kings.
I don't let nothing get in, right? Like nothing that's not already decided that is good stuff. None of that gets in there. I only let the good juices in. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Do you see one here you want to read?
Okay, let's see. Oh, we haven't heard from Fat Rob in a while.
Here we go.
Okay, this is our old friend,
Yeah, Fat Rob. It's been a while.
Yeah. I had the privilege, nay, the honor, of visiting New York this week. I was honestly unsure how I would like it, but I absolutely fell in love with the energy of the city, the natural hum, truly like nothing I've ever experienced, the sheer magnitude of its breathtaking. I was there cooking at the Food and Wine Festival. Fortunately for me, I had plenty of time to do a little sightseeing. I'm a nervous flyer, but I had you guys in my ears the whole time, keeping me calm. I appreciate it, fellas. When I come back, definitely going to catch a show. Thanks again. Oh, thank you, Rob.
Yeah. I thought that was just a nice little email. Just like, hey, I went to New York. It was
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
And I'm going to counter that with an email here from Blobfish, who has emailed us before.
Okay.
And this one is titled "In Los Angeles for the First Time," and it starts with "Don't like it." This is a coast-to-coast review we're doing here. Live in Western Colorado, drove 8 hours to Vegas, spent the night, drove 5 hours to Angeles this morning, going to see La Brea Tar Pits, Moulin Rouge, pretty excited. What's up?
You have to say the don't like it. Pause for humor.
Pause for humor. I was just taking the pause. But yeah. I like birds. I like birds, so I'm happy to see all the different birds. Spotted a mitred or mitred, M-I-T-R-E-D, mitred. I'm not sure how to pronounce parakeet, which is uncommon. Might have been a red masked parakeet, which is rare, and a vagrant species, so they came here by accident, adding on to it. I like a little bird fact in there. But the city itself, too cramped. I live in a small town by comparison, so I don't like how cramped everything is. LA's never really felt cramped to me. If anything, LA's a little too spread out for my liking. Things could be closer together. That's Logan editorializing. Everything is crushed together, and the people are weird. They are insane, just running across the street during a green with 2 bags of half-eaten cucumbers. I like that this is being clearly judging the whole city based on one guy carrying cucumbers. Whoa, what'd you do?
I dropped something. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
God. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. Also, why is everything so hilly? Well, okay, this is kind of a little nitpicky about geography here. Again, Colorado, surrounded by mountains. I live in a valley, but just it is a hill. The roads are the roads are also giant, bigger than Denver, and just so overdone in every day they can imagine. Phoenix and Las Vegas really rely on U-turns to get places. Los Angeles require a full 10-lane crossing. That crossing is underneath another 10-lane street. By the way, we Uber around. They know the city. This is how it is. It's insane. I was gonna. Those complaints at the end there are just like, it's not the same as everywhere. Update. Saw Moulin Rouge. The audience was so rude. One lady was screaming, "Ow!" and "Yes, woo!" every time something remotely sexual happened in the most blood-curdling voice known to man. She did this the entire time. Really emotional moment, and the main character wipes his greasy hair. Woo! Thank you for that. Los Angeles review.
Look. What you need to understand, thank you for writing in, but what you need to understand is that's just somebody who's very lonely, all right? Who's truly in need of a touch.
Yes.
Because no one woos. Like,
this is sex for her.
this is very close to all the sex. Like, it's...
Seeing Moulin Rouge, yeah.
The idea that, like, even one of the dancers maybe just wiped his brow and like, ow!
Yes, sweat.
It really is like, that's so funny that, okay. I feel like we finally found one of the attributes of like a perverted auntie, because we all know like a perverted uncle. Perverted uncles out here making those like low noises, like like
that sounded like Sling Blade.
Yeah, just a little bit of growl, and everything they say is like, oh, as you do it later. Like, just something that's really uncomfortable. And those aunties are out here also. Those aunties are out here.
Oh, for sure.
Ow!
Yeah. They are just happy to lay their eyes on a man.
Wow. You know those people who actually be reading the romance novel outside, like.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time
reading their smut on the bus.
There was one time that I was on the bus in Chicago, and this woman was this middle-aged woman was reading a romance novel, and I'm not even kidding. She was reading, and like nobody else was there. She touched her chest, like. Like she had the book out here, right?
Yeah.
But then she went, whew. like she rubbed the middle of her chest like she had Vicks Vapor Rub on it.
Oh, I love that.
And it's just, and then you see the cover, and the cover first of all, he couldn't be on more steroids. And I don't know what book this is. I'd have to find it because it's so funny. It's like basically he is, at least from the angle, because she had it down a little bit because she was reading it.
Oh, did it have like kind of a Fabio cover?
It had
kind
like
of
a
thing?
Fabio cover, but
Okay.
the woman the woman is on the horse. This is like such a funny thing. The woman is on the horse, but the man, instead of riding the horse or her grabbing him and he's riding or whatever, he's like under the horse. So I couldn't tell if he was supposed to be
What?
lifting the horse or if he was getting trampled by the horse. Because I couldn't see the cover well because it was tilted down.
My husband was trampled by a horse, blah, blah, blah.
My husband was trampled by a horse, blah, blah, blah. Ow! Ow, ow!
Woo! Yeah. Squish him with them hooves. Ow!
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Well, I think you had fun in Los Angeles. But also, sorry, I genuinely snorted there.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. So can you choose the one, it's fourth from the bottom, I fucked up?
I fucked up. There you go.
Okay. You already know the subject. I fucked up. Dear Toontown Squeaks, I've been listening to the show since the beginning and have always thought about sending in an email, but never knew what to say until now.
That does sound so so ominous.
I am a high school teacher and often listen to music or podcasts while I'm grading assignments. Well, I was listening to the Balls episode with headphones on. I'm not an animal. While grading tests in my classroom, when Josh said, "Sorry for your ball king," I completely lost it, and the few students I had in my classroom really wanted to know what I was laughing about. Since I would like to keep my job, I could not tell them the whole story, but I panicked and just simply said, "Something funny happened on the podcast I'm listening to." It didn't dawn on me until later that most of my students only know about the serial killer podcast that I listen to, as we use those as sources during our serial killer unit in psychology class. I now have a bunch of students who believe I was laughing to myself while listening to a podcast about actual murders. If kids weren't intimidated by me before, they certainly are now. Anyways, keep doing what you're doing. I'm a huge fan of the podcast, even though I may never listen to it at school again. I love all the Wild Josh stories, and Logan's laugh never fails to make me laugh as well. Best. And then, P.S., y'all definitely have a bromance going on. Don't lie to yourselves like that.
I try to tell him all the time. He just won't believe me.
Well, you know what? Thanks for writing in. Thanks so much.
That's
for listening
from
to the
Mia
show.
or Maya. It's
And-
MIA. I know it can be pronounced either way.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah. That's a new one, though, that like the laughing at work club, but thinking you're just a psychopath, like a genuine.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets crazy looks when they laugh at work, but everyone's looking at you being like, oh, man, the last podcast we knew they were listening to was like about Dahmer.
Yeah.
And they're over there cackling away.
And I don't know what's hilarious about Dahmer.
Oh, I like this one here. This is from, I believe it's from Malia, and the title is "Here's an Episode Idea." Hello, Josh and Logan. Josh, I commented on the Instagram where you wanted us to roast you, and I said you look like the brown M&M. I have found some things from my childhood in Texas that I think you might like. Beware, these annoyingly catchy jingles will be stuck in your DNA for the rest of your life. I'll read the rest of the email and then we'll get to that thing. Anyhow, love the show. My favorite episodes are Say Something Dummy and the episode about the creamer. I'm also an avid creamer drinker, but I water it down with milk. That's
Yeah.
the most insane
Nah,
shit I have
nah.
ever heard.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Watering down. I
That's-
watered down the
yeah, you
dairy
gotta
with some
cut it.
dairy.
You can't have it pure. You got to cut
You
it.
do.
Huh?
You drink it pure.
I wouldn't necessarily drink it. We don't know what that was. All right.
Yeah, we do.
No,
no.
remember
You don't
that.
get to try to retcon the show like you didn't.
Remember
drink
that.
creamer.
Remember that though. We never fully
Remember
figured
what?
out. We never fully figured out what exactly
Yes, you did.
it
Your
was.
roommate came in and said you guys are drinking creamer.
You just gonna take her word for it. You weren't even there when she
You
said.
took her word for it.
Look.
You told me.
Look. Jury is still out. Okay.
Shut up. You're a fool. Shut up.
No, you're a fool.
You're a fucking fool.
You
Shut up.
are a fool,
Shut up.
and you
Shut up,
always
fool.
have been.
Shut up,
All
you
right,
fool.
you will be.
Anyhow,
a
hope you
fool
enjoy.
until
Shut up,
your
fool. Shut up, you
last
fool.
Day.
Fool. I am trying to read.
You are a
Shut the fuck up.
fool.
Shut up.
Fool.
Anyhow, hope you enjoy these jingles. Maybe you can react to them on the show or something like that. And I just like to go, bye! From Malia. I won't play all of them. I'm going to play one for you just because this takes me back to some stuff from like my childhood too. We didn't have this one. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I hope you will.
Okay, fool.
You're a fool.
You're a fool.
So I was excited about this because it made me think about. I have a lot of like jingles, like local jingles stuck in my head. Do you have any of those?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to tell me any?
No, none of them are good. And if I say them out loud, I'll just be thinking about them all day.
Oh, come on now. Come on. I'll sing you a couple of mine if you sing me one of yours.
You know what? They don't give good internet, though, so I don't even want to promote them. Nobody should know about them. Nah, let me see a different one. Because the internet one is like...
Like an actual like earworm?
Yeah, it's an actual earworm, but they're not a good company. They just paid someone to get themselves stuck in your head like a real parasite. Let me see. There's one that's... Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh, you're going to look for it?
I'm going to look for it because I want to make sure I'm doing it right, or else literally no one will. There's already probably only a few people from my hometown that listen to the show.
The ones I got in my head, I can sing for you right now without even needing reference because they are so ingrained in my head. There's Rochester Lapidary Jewelers. If you want to look good, great styles and value, jewelries, gems, and stones. We got everything you need at the Rochester Lapidary Jewelers.
Okay, let's see.
That was a real jazzy one. Soulful even.
Okay. Yeah, I can't find it. So the only thing I can actually give you is this one guy. There's no real like jingle to it. There's just some really catchy music playing in the background, and and then he's like, it kind of like sounds like that sort of Silk Sonic-y Bruno Mars type. So it's like, just imagine doom 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 doom.
Okay.
Doom 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 doom. And then he's like going with the beat, like doom 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 doom. And then he looks at the camera. He's like, "Have you been hurt?" And then they're still going doom 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 doom. He's like, "It wasn't your fault." Doom 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 doom.
So yours is kind of a slam poetry
Yeah, yeah.
ad, not so much a jingle, but
Yeah, it was. I think he was trying to. It ended up being slam poetry because he couldn't sing and couldn't really stay with the beat. But it ended up being a little bit of an R&B attempt.
Okay, gotcha. We also had Universal Marine and RV was another one. And it was imagine yourself having fun and feeling free. Universal Marine and RV, and it was for boat. It was boat and camper rentals. But having fun and feeling free.
Wow.
Let's do this one here. Do you want to read this one, or do you want me to read it?
I might need you to read it just because it is so small on my computer. It's a little bit hard to read.
And you got shitty eyes. Because you won't get glasses because you're a fool.
No, you're a fool. All right, you are a foolish fool.
All right, this is from Daniel, and it is titled, "I accidentally competed in an Iron Man competition, plus stand-up advice." So,
It really runs the full spectrum of like human interaction.
yeah. Hey, Josh and Logan. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Daniel. You may remember me from my email entry in episode number 106, Gym Stepdad, where I told you all about my slightly humiliating experience puking at my local gym. Oh, I do remember that. I have another funny story of something that recently happened to me that I wanted to share with you. But first, I wanted to ask you for some advice regarding my new adventure in the world of stand-up comedy. I recently performed my first ever stand-up comedy set at a local club here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was a brief 5-minute set, and I not only had a great time, but I was given many compliments from some of the attendees that night. The organizer even caught me after the show and informed me that he could send me the dates and locations of some upcoming open mics if I was at all interested in potentially performing at them. I told him that I definitely was, and I'm currently waiting to hear back from him. All that being said, I wanted to ask you if you had any advice for me as a new comic. This is definitely just a small hobby for me, but I would love to continue to try my hand at it in the future if given the opportunity. Any advice on how you guys come up with material? How do you typically practice? Any and all help would be much appreciated. Maybe we'll give some advice first, and then we'll read the story here.
Yeah, I think that for the most part, just having fun is the best thing that you can do starting out. Like, I think that some people, it's exactly like going to the gym. I think some people like take it very seriously and get really into it and want to like get really far in their first like 2 visits, and then they end up burning out or like not getting the results they want in 2 weeks, and so it makes them want to give up. But if you're just like having fun and building community and meeting people that you think are funny and getting to watch people that you think are funny, and it's one of those things that gives you confidence and a source of joy, then I think sticking with it for now is the best thing you can be doing, because all those things that you could want will come later with more experience. So there's no real there's no real like long-term tip that I could give. I will say one piece of advice I give everybody if I don't see them do it is to, when you start, put the mic stand away from you. Like so many people starting out let the mic stand upstage them. Like they'll just take it they'll take the mic out of the stand and then leave it in front of them, blocking them on stage.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that when they start.
Yeah, and I think that's the only thing that I tell people who are like almost brand new. Other than that, though, I don't think that there's anything that you can do except continue to enjoy yourself and like enjoy writing, enjoy learning how to perform better.
Yeah, I mean, you've already done the hardest thing, which is start. Like that's what keeps a lot of people from doing it at all, is literally just signing up that first time. Because we both met a lot of people who are just like, oh, I want to do stand-up. And I always say, okay, go do it then. And then they don't, because that's the hard part. So you got that. And I'm glad it went well. One of your next times is not going to go well. Within like those first like 5 times you do it, one of them hurts very badly. Whether it's your first one or it's like your third one. So just know that's going to happen. It's nothing you did wrong. It's part of the journey. It's part of learning it. So if you still like it, just shake that off and move forward. And then I think just, for writing, like for me, when I started out, when I was brand new, I literally just had a little notebook with me and I made myself just write down 3 thoughts a day. Mm-hmm. Even if they weren't funny, even if they never became anything, I just made myself write them down, which just got me better at not only just creating a collection of stuff, but also made me better at being choosy about what I wanted to talk about by just the nature of constantly writing down ideas. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like generating good material, good stories. It was just like, oh, I have a fleeting thought that maybe is a bit. I'm just going to write it down. And then I just would make sure I'd write down 3 a day. And that's how I generate material. How did you do it in the beginning when you started out?
I really would just like go off of experiences that I had, or like I try to like flush out an idea. So what I did when I started out, which, who knows if this was even a good idea, but I would have like one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I try to pull as much as I could out of that one thing. And then, one thing at a 5-minute mic became 2 things, became like writing just a straight up joke, became having a set, but like I really stuck to, here's the thing that I think is funny, whether it's a story or a concept, and I'm just going to mine it as much as possible every time. And then, through the process of like elimination and just through realizing what people laughed at and what was just filler, you cut it down from there.
Yeah. But congrats on starting out and best of luck in your future sets. And now on to the story here. I also wanted to leave you with a funny story of something that recently happened to me. Over the weekend, there was an Ironman competition here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. On Sunday, I decided to go for a run in the afternoon as I had been inside for most of the day and wanted to get out for a bit. After running for a little over a mile, my route took me by the main road where the Ironman competitors were running. Once I reached the road, I was at this point, once I reached the road, I was at the point running side by side with the competitors and was headed for the famous Walnut Street Bridge here in Chattanooga. Little did I know, the Ironman competitors were also headed for that same bridge. Once I reached the beginning of the bridge, I realized that I had accidentally found myself competing in the Ironman race alongside people who, at this point, had been running for 13 plus miles. I was committed to it at this point and couldn't turn back. So there I was, running alongside the racers on the bridge. The whole time I'm running across the bridge, crowds of people are cheering me on and giving me words of encouragement as they assumed I was an Ironman competitor, even though I was in fact not a registered competitor in the race. However, once I reached the other side of the bridge, I realized there was a large crowd of around 100 to 200 people waiting for all of the runners to cross the bridge cross the bridge with signs and bullhorns. I had to make a decision in this moment. Do I run with all of the competitors through the crowd and act like I was an actual Ironman competitor? Or do I run off course and away from the race altogether? I was really starting to feel like the person in the group that didn't contribute to the group project but still got an A+ on the assignment. So I decided to run around the crowd and off the race route. It just didn't feel right for me to run through the large crowd of people at the end of the bridge. But who knows, maybe if I did, I would have received some kind of participation trophy. I definitely felt like I was being showered with undeserved praise at that moment. But hey, I will take what I can get, I suppose. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well and didn't mind my longer than necessary emails. I'm loving the podcast. Keep up the great work. Take care, Daniel. Daniel, I will say I would have ran straight into that crowd and soaked up that adoration. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, you would have been. It would have been so funny if you had run through and then you were really like talking shit as you cross, like oh, you look.
You guys are winded. I'm still feeling great.
Y'all look a little dehydrated, if you ask me.
I was hoping, I knew it wasn't going to lead to this because it's too cartoony, but the idea of accidentally competing in an Ironman competition, I met up with them at the bridge, and then suddenly here I am on a bike.
Yeah, because this is the thing. If you're not supposed to be in it at all, because I told you about we did an episode about the marathon Stolen Valor, right?
Yes, we've talked about that. Yeah,
it's like if you manage to get in one of those things, they only have so many bikes and stuff for the people competing. So you
could steal someone's spot.
But I think even the other competitors at a certain point would be like, why doesn't that guy have a number on his chest?
Yeah. Or you're on the bike and then you're swimming and you're just exhausted. You're like, I don't want to be doing this. I didn't mean to do this.
Yeah.
Someone in an Ironman competition by duress, just like on a bike. Like I didn't want to. I have places to be.
I mean,
I can't
honestly,
do this right now.
When you start reading the story, I thought that he was going to compete out of pressure because the people in the beginning thought he was part of it, so then he just stayed in it.
No, Daniel sounds too nice. Here's the thing, Daniel, from this story, it sounds like you're polite and very sure of yourself. So you're like, I'll just get out of here. I'm not going to let the pressures of the race control me. So you sound mentally healthy, but I would have loved it if you were just like, yeah, then I ran in there and I got a medal.
I got a medal. I think some guy drowned.
We're at an hour. We could probably wrap it up.
Okay. Can you, let me see. There's one.
Did you want to do one more?
Maybe one more. All right. Well, this one is titled Strife, and it is from our friend Ben. Hello, Josh and Logan. Logan, how do you feel when Josh responds to your story with, "That's so funny," and immediately moves on to a new topic? Do you think he actually thinks what you said was funny? Also, I wanted to share a couple of stories from high school. Every day
Didn't
while
even let me
driving.
answer. Didn't even let me answer. Just moved right on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's how little he cares about what I
do
think.
Do you think that I think that you're being funny when I say that's funny?
I do know that's how you react to things that are funny,
Yeah.
but from the outside, just hearing into the podcast, it probably does sound like you don't care. but knowing you personally, I know that is how you react to something you genuinely find funny.
Yeah, yeah.
It's how a lot of comics. It's actually like if something is really, really funny to me, that I usually just go like, "Wow, that's really funny." Mm-hmm. Like I don't laugh. I kind of just appreciate how funny it is.
Do you? Yeah, yeah. I do the same thing. I will laugh. You know what happens? And I've realized this week.
What?
I laugh really hard the third time if I'm watching a clip. Like so like if I see a clip on Twitter or something, the first time I don't laugh at all. I'm just kind of like, oh, that's funny. And then there's a part of me that's like, let me watch it again. And then the third time, the second or third time is when I have the laugh that I should have had that normal people would have the first time.
Yeah.
So the first time I see it, because so much of Twitter, even with clips, is like within a joke. So I'm thinking about the joke while I'm watching the video. So I'm not really enjoying the video. But then when I'm like getting the video again, then I'm like, okay, now I know what the punchline is, so I don't have to look for anything, and I can just enjoy it.
Because sometimes, like, I don't know if you mean it this way, but it's like sometimes I'm just trying to like reverse engineer like what they've done, like as a stand-up.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just trying to make sense of what
process of it.
they've done. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if it's like really funny and unexpected, it makes me kind of go like, "Whoa, okay, how did they plant the seeds for that payoff?" And it's like I'm more putting the puzzle together as the process instead of just enjoying it.
Yeah,
sometimes.
which does end up being distracting from the joke and stuff.
So just know when Josh says that's so funny. I mean, sometimes he's probably not paying attention, but a lot of times it means he enjoys it. Hello?
Yeah.
Were you going to finish the email?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to be done.
I was done talking for so long, and you just stared ahead.
No, I was waiting just in case. All right, you're a fool. You're a fool. You're an actual fool.
That's so funny.
It's crazy. You would have done great in medieval England because you are a fool.
Finish the email.
You're a fool. Okay. Every day while driving to high school, I would eat an apple. While I was walking into the building, I would throw my apple core into another student's truck bed. I did this for at least 3 months. One day, he finally caught me and asked me what the fuck I was doing. I just shrugged my shoulders and kept walking. I'm still not sure why he didn't kick my ass.
Wow. Baller move.
My senior year of high school, I drove a blue Ford Windstar minivan to school. Another kid who was more popular than me had the exact same van. At the end of the year, the popular girls at the school would go out in the parking lot and write things on the windows of other seniors' cars. They mistook his van for my van, so I walked out of school to see "We love you, Eric" written on the windows of my van. My name is Ben. I drove the van around all summer with that on the window, and my friends constantly roasted me. I love the show, but people act like you guys won a Nobel Peace Prize when they compliment the show during the mailbag section. So I'll just say, good job. Thanks, Ben.
That email's a real criticism sandwich.
Yeah, it's like, look, like Ben has the demeanor of somebody that's definitely trying to smash, because it's like, I love the show, but people act like y'all want a Nobel Peace Prize or something.
Yeah.
But good job.
Yeah. I like the show. You're not all that. Also, Josh has this weird reaction. No, I mean, Ben has the energy of a man who throws apple cores into someone's truck for 3 months.
And also doesn't know why he does.
Just does it. Ben is a man to be respected and feared. I'll say that.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
That's so funny.
That is funny. Thank you so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. I hope you had a great time listening. We had a great time recording. So if you were looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
You can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag, you can send us an email, joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. We read them at the end of every episode, and sometimes we do these big, long ones. We also read reviews on Apple Podcasts. If you leave us a 5-star review and leave us you actually have to write a review. We can't see the 5-star just ratings, but if you leave us a 5-star review, we like to read those sometimes too, and it helps us on that platform. And if you want more of us, we got bonus stuff over on Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We've got bonus shows we do there where we debate stuff, where I, prove how big of a fool Josh is.
you're a fool.
You're a fool.
Remember that.
You can also get full replays to live shows we've done. We just did our last virtual live show of 2022. It was very fun. I think this one was genuinely unhinged. So I'm very, I'm excited and concerned to see what happens in 2023 at the virtual live show, because it was a dark holiday episode. I will say that. And then we're gonna be on the road in January. Josh kicks off his freshman tour, is what he's calling it, and I'm on a couple of the shows at the start of the year. So all that stuff and all the links down below and all that jazz. Come see us.
Yeah, and have a great rest of the week, into the weekend, into the holiday.
Bye-bye.
Fool.
You're a fucking fool.
Fool.
You're a fool.
Fool. Let's see. Let me turn off the recording.
Stop
Fool.
recording right now. You big dumb fool.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Hit the bell notification, because apparently it's the only way YouTube will tell you that something happened. And just tell a friend. That's the biggest thing you could do. Just tell one person in your life that you like, maybe you don't like, that this video happened to you.
We release the podcast every Thursday on all the podcast apps, so you should find us there and subscribe on those and comment and leave reviews and whatever on all of them. And also, if you want bonus stuff, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have bonus podcasts and videos and stuff there, and we'd love to see you.
I don't know. Maybe y'all saw. Maybe you didn't see. People can only watch so much news, But y'all saw the president at the UN. I didn't see everything as it was happening. I heard about some stuff later, right? So then I got a text message from my friend. They were like, "Oh, did you see what happened at the UN?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see what happened at the UN." And they explained to me that, he was getting on escalator, and then the escalator stopped. Now, I thought at the time, it was going very differently. I thought the escalator stopped on like a down escalator. That would have been a big deal. Imagine you on escalator. You have belief. You get on a down escalator, you're like, all right, it's gonna take me where I need to go. No need for a seatbelt. If that thing just stops, the momentum, whoa! Now the president's falling down the steps. So I thought that's what happened. Then I watched the video and I saw that he just walked up to the escalator, stepped on the escalator, and the escalator broke. And you saw him stand at the bottom of the escalator like, what? And Melania didn't miss a beat. She just started walking up the escalator. And so there were people that were like, this was sabotage. UN needs to be investigated. Somebody needs to be arrested, right? But then he made it up the escalator / stairs. And he went to speak to the UN. Went to speech
for the whole of the UN. He's standing here, UN over there. And as soon as he goes to start, the teleprompter broke. We know the teleprompter broke because he told us. As soon as he walked up, he told us, teleprompter broke. First the escalator, teleprompter broke. Nothing here work. Nothing. No, teleprompter. And it's like, look, if you're delivering a speech and it's been, uploaded to teleprompter, then teleprompter breaks, all right, like, that is something to be annoyed or caught off guard about. But I'm sitting there watching, like, why do you care that the teleprompter, you're not gonna read it, like you're not. Every speech is off the dome. Every speech you can tell every speech, he's over here freestyling every time. Why do you even have a speechwriter? You know the president's speechwriter right now gotta be the easiest job in the world. You just over here typing up chapters from Great Expectations, knowing he's not gonna read it. Knowing he's just gonna go, you know what I mean? He goes off of vibes. What do you care that the teleprompter's broke? You weren't gonna look at it. You might have read the first couple sentences and then been like, you know what? I'm gonna speak from the heart. And so the teleprompter broke it, And so he's like, I guess I'll just have to. Which was also wild because the speech was printed out in front of him. But he was like, no, you want me to turn pages? No. And then proceeds to, give this address to the UN, and it depending on who you talk to, depending on whose opinion you're listening to, it did not go fantastic. Because the energy of the speech was like the normal energy. It was like rally energy, like talking to his base or something. But this is the UN. They don't live here. Like some of the stuff they don't care about. Like you talking to the UN. Everyone's here. He's over here like, I inherited a mess and we fixed it, and like years ago we were down in the dumps and now we're the hottest country in the world. He keeps saying we're the hottest country in the world, and I don't know what that means. I feel like even the UN was like, so what? Climate change? What does it mean, the hottest? This is also wild because, like, you talking to other countries right now. Why are you dunking on them right now? Then, dude's over here. I ended, like, 7 wars. And it's just funny because, like, everybody he talking about is there. So now some of these countries look at each other across the desk like, I don't know. I didn't even, what did I say? Nah, it was incredible. And then there was a weird thing. I think it was Brazil. He was talking about the leader of Brazil and how, like, first of all, this dude also tariffing everybody. So then he was talking about how he doesn't do deals with people he doesn't like, but then he had a good handshake with the leader of Brazil, so maybe they could work something out. Even Brazil had to be like, yo, I don't know, I just saw him in the hallway. Out here trying to be cordial. I don't even know if this is good. Was this good? No, it's phenomenal performance. Truly, I've not seen anything like it. Just over here. I'm sure if you were at the UN just sitting there, you just sitting there quietly listening, looking over at other countries. You know. There's some countries that had just be chuckling. Like countries that aren't in the mix, you know what I mean? Like if you're not like a key member of BRICS, or you're not, you know what I mean? Like if you're not like in the news in that way, you just come, you enjoy the show. You know? Like I imagine maybe Zimbabwe might have been cracking up. They'd be like, that's your friend. That's your friend. But that wasn't the only incredible performance. That wasn't the only press conference. Because they held a press conference because they found it. They found it. They nailed it down. They found the cause. That's what they said. No one gathered everybody together, got the press conference going on. Looked like it was in the Oval Office. Yeah. And they were gonna talk about the causes that they had found, the root cause of autism. This is what they said. And so, you know, they walk in and you had Dr. Oz. Dr. Osmosis himself. You know Dr. Ozymandias. Like, Dr. Oz is standing there. And like, why? How did this happen? If we are just gonna start putting people from TV in real, like, government position, in real medical field, can we at least get somebody from like Grey's Anatomy or something? You know what I mean? Like, if we are already not being serious, can we not be serious better? Who is checking for Dr. Oz besides Oprah? Who is? He's standing there, doesn't even really look that healthy himself. This man's advice so far has been actually insane. They've done interviews with him. He's, you know, spoken to the public. Like, what would you suggest for Americans? Man's out here. If you want to, if you don't, look. If you don't want to be sick, be healthy. I wish I was joking. I would, like, I can barely take credit for that one. I changed like 2 words. So you got Dr. Oz from TV on one side. And then you have y'all know who he is. And then you have RFK Jr. on the other side, looking odder than usual. If y'all saw it, you know what I'm talking about. RFK Jr. showed up. I don't know what's happening. Because it wasn't like a tan. Like he looked like a bruised blueberry. Like he looked wild, and nobody addressing it. Nobody saying anything. The president over here just trying to not use his peripheral vision. RFK Jr. is white. No, that is a white man. He's white. He's a white guy. But that's the first time I've ever seen a white guy and been like, he is colored. Like that. Yo, my man, what is happening? He just stand there like he been holding his breath for 26 years. This is very bad. And then, I don't know who told him. I imagine it could have been somebody, higher up, but it could even just been an aide that told the president, okay, you're going to give this press conference, you're going to talk about links to autism, and what you need to do, this is very important, for legal, this is very important for a lot of reasons, what you need to do is say the name of the drug. Then you can go on and say the brand name. But you need to say the name of the drug because the drug is what we're saying is the link, not one particular brand. So there are other like store brands that are this drug. You need to say the drug. Say the drug. You have to say the drug. Okay? Say the drug. And I'm sure he attacked it with that regular, bravado. I'm gonna say it, whatever. Get out of here. Let me work. Let me get in the zone, all right? I got you in my ear. I got him over here being purple. Let me work. It goes up, starts the speech. It's rolling. It's rolling with it. And then he hit a more than 8-letter word. And then the commander-in-chief, leader of the free world, in real time, in front of us, the American public, technically the whole world, because the internet, our leader in front of the nation, at a press conference they called. Our leader in real time sounded it out. I try really hard. No matter who somebody is, no matter the background, no matter the situation, really treat people like equals, not like look at people a certain type of way. We all struggle. We all have our different strengths and weaknesses and everything. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it. If you are 80 and you haven't attacked a word before, maybe it's just not a word you ever going to get. Like if you... It's late. It's late for him to be sounding out new words. Because the word, you could see he could see the word coming up. And sounded it out confidently, too. Just over here, ace. Some toast. And it's not like it was in the mic. You couldn't hear it into the mic, but you could tell Dr. Oz was standing there trying to do hard ventriloquism. Just. Dr. Oz was standing there like, just open your mouth, let me do it. Just. Dr. Oz was fighting to just, you could see him. See him in the face. I see him in the face. I said, Tom, I see the Trump. See him, man. I knew when he looked around, we were cooked. Like I knew it. When that man looked up from the paper, I was like, no, stay on it, stay on it. Stay with it, you almost got it. I said, Tom, I see him, I see him, Tylenol, and like that. That is also wild too. Gave us the full, what is it, Porky Pig? Gave us the full Tylenol. And he was hitting those T's, that Tylenol extra hard. He was getting his payback with those T's. Tylenol, don't take that Tylenol. When y'all see Tylenol. Because it was rough. It was like, you've been in third grade before. You remember when a teacher, I didn't even know this at the time, but it was basically when a teacher had like a hangover, and so then the teacher would just make y'all read the book to each other. At the time, I really thought it was about learning, and now that I'm grown enough to have friends that are teachers, I'm like, no, you had a bender. That's what this is. Don't try to put this off on the students. You see in double right now. And so it would be, your turn would be coming up. And you would do a thing. Somebody would be reading over here, and you start counting people and counting paragraphs. And then you read ahead a little bit so that when it's your time to read your paragraph, you're reading your paragraph all fast and everything. People can't even retain the information. Then, there'd always be that one kid. There'd be that one kid where it's like, when you get to his paragraph, that's gonna last till the end of class. So you literally count your paragraph till you have to read, and then you count paragraphs, and you like, the bell gonna ring here. Sometimes to be a kid, everybody learns differently. We all have different abilities, and you do your best to be as patient as possible. I remember, I had one kid in my class that we would do that, and then his paragraph be coming up, and as soon as his paragraph start, everybody's like, And then he would start and he would be sounding it out and then hit the word and then sounding it out. Everybody learns at a different pace. Sounding it out, hit the word. Sound it out, hit the word. Sometimes he'd even go back, sound it out, hit the word, say the last 3 words together. He's learning. We're all learning. Everybody moves in their own time. But sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I was a kid too. I wasn't always patient. Sometimes he'd be sitting there and be like, and I'd be like, A, it's A, it's A, it's A, it's A. You already hit it. It's A, it's A. There's nothing left to do. It's A, it's A. It is A. You did it. High five. You did it. It's A. It's only A. And then you grow up and you mature and you realize that everybody's good at stuff. People aren't as good at stuff and everything. Because I'll tell you what, I could read, when I was a kid, I could read, very good at reading. My math wasn't great. So then when it came to math, it was me who was like a little bit behind all the time, especially when we got to like algebra. You know, because I could like, you know, factor a little bit. I understood denominators and stuff like that. Like I felt like I was keeping up and everything. But when we hit algebra, all of a sudden the tables were turned. This is why you have to be as patient with people as you want them to be with you. Because I'm sitting there. And for the first time, there's letters. There's letters in the math problem, but I'm sitting over here like, and then he was sitting there like, it's 4, it's 4, it's 4. Oh, and so, you know, he's over there. He went ahead and dunked on that acetaminophen and then went ahead and started saying Tylenol, started describing to the people things that were not on the paper in front of him. Which is why you definitely shouldn't be upset when the teleprompter doesn't work. You know is what you're gonna do. This man was just throwing out all types of wild claims. This dude was like, hey, look, the Amish, don't have any autism. And a couple times in this press conference, he would say something, then turn to somebody and be like, is that true? My man, no, it's all on the paper. They put it all on the paper. You had RFK Jr. turn from purple to red. Because then he just started going off on like vaccines in general. You know, and just started saying like, look, you know, it's too much. It's too much. And he's not the first person, he's not the only person to be saying that. It's too much at one time. You know, you got those beautiful babies and you shooting them up with 80 shots of liquid. The thing that stuck out to me about the liquid thing is that you could tell he wanted to say juice. You could tell he's like, they put too much juice in them babies. Nobody need all that vaccine juice. No, it was truly wild. And then it was over. And then it was over. I can't imagine what it must have been like to be on the board of Tylenol. If you're on the board of Tylenol watching this press conference, you over here probably on a whole roller coaster of emotions. Like, at first you'd be sweating because they had let it slip several times that this is basically what the topic was going to be and what was going to be said. It had been like, you know, pieced out, little flavor, little sprinkle here and there for the media all the way up until that press conference, right? But then, when they actually said it, I'm sure Tylenol was stress. And when they said this is what the press conference was going to be about, this is what they were going to talk about. You work at Tylenol, you sitting there, edge of your seat. And then he goes to say the name of the drug, and you're probably like, this might not be that bad for us, honestly. Like, he almost said a cinnamon. We might be in the clear here. All we gotta do is come out with a label, no cinnamon in our product. We'll be fine. And then he says your brand name. Then he says your brand name over and over again. And now you're like, that's not good. That one came out perfectly. And then he talks about the Amish, and you're like, I guess if people watch the whole thing, they'll be confused enough to not know if they should take it or not. Because my thing is, look, why have such an unforced error? You know what I mean? Go ahead. You already got Caroline Levitt talking to the media all the time. Get her out there to start the thing. Get her say the name of the drug and then walk off. Then you can go and just go off your vibes and everything. You had two people on either side of you that probably say the name of the drug all the time. Well, don't let him, but let Dr. Oz say it. Let him earn his keep. No, he over here supposed to be a doctor. Got the shortest name I've ever seen. Because I do my best to be up on the news, but I don't always want to talk about, politics and stuff. Sometimes there's stuff that happens that has nothing to do with anything political, and it just warms your heart to see it. You'll see a news story that captivates you, and it doesn't take you into like any sort of polarized position, Like I saw this South Carolina teacher that got arrested for using fart spray on the students as a punishment. Look, I'm not a teacher. I come from like a family of teachers, people that work in education. And like kids have always and will always drive adults insane. It's like part of the bargain that we have. Is part of the truce, It's like y'all won't do a Lord of the Flies. Y'all just be bad in school. And we'll pay the bills. And look, I can't imagine what it's like to teach, especially now. You have kids who genuinely, because of like lockdown and COVID and stuff like that, missed out on little pieces. You have adults now who missed out on like a full college experience. You also have little kids who missed out on having their friends over and, being able to socialize at a very specific point in their life. So everybody's been like knocked off their kilter a little bit by COVID and by lockdown, not being able to just be with each other. That's just, a fact. And because of how school was going in that time, you have people who are really behind because they didn't have that special attention. You had to do school on Zoom with a bunch of other students, and maybe a kid needed help and they couldn't get it immediately, not in the way you can get it when you're present, I can't imagine what it would be like right now to be in school, sitting there trying to do my algebra like zzz, 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 zzz. And so then the kids come back to school and, some of them are excited to see their friends. Some of them are still trying to learn how to socialize. Some of them, maybe aren't as affected as others. But kids will be kids. Kids will be loud. They won't listen, all that stuff. And then what do you do if you're a teacher? You got teachers out here fighting for their lives just to try to teach you some English. You know, you see videos of it all the time, teachers going through it because students don't want to listen, all this stuff. This is the person that's just trying to make sure you know how to spell. So one day, if you make it all the way to the White House and you have to address the nation, you won't be like, cinematosis. And so if you're a teacher, you know what I mean? What do you do? Like my teachers used to yell. Teachers yell. It happens. Hey, stop! And you can tell. There's a certain yell, especially when you got like a male teacher. There's a certain yell that you can tell you broke him because his voice cracked. You know what I mean? Like if he's like, hey, hey, y'all, chill out, right? And he's had enough of it, and maybe you're the first period of the day. You know what I mean? Y'all being a little loud. Hey, listen up, right? Something happened at about 5th period and on, where if you really got him at his wits' end, he'd be like, hey! Can't even help you people. That's how you can tell. That's how you can tell when a teacher really at the edge, when they just start talking to the students like they are society. Like it's like you do your best, you know. You go to a state school to save money because you know you're not going to make it here, you know. You got a passion for Spanish, so you try to teach it to you knuckleheads. Just truly, like, you know, teacher ready to cry. Over here, you get that third shut up. Sometimes that third shut up doesn't have any bass behind it. It sounds a little bit, shut up! Leaning against the board. I don't know what to do. All right. And so what do? You know what I mean? Yelling doesn't work. You can't hit them. Somebody came up with a plan. Somebody was like, all right, y'all don't respect me? Okay, y'all don't respect me? You will respect this. Because I've read different reports. Some reports say he was like doing a prank or whatever. Some reports say he was like mad about whatever. But I'm telling you, he could have done it for any amount of reasons. Maybe this dude didn't take his job seriously. Maybe, you know, he was out here just trying to prank for fun. He's somehow like a teacher's assistant, whatever, and still hadn't like grown up. So then he's over here. Ooh, look at you, stinky. Ooh. Ooh, stink butt over here. Ooh. Maybe. But maybe he had had enough. You can only take so many spitballs to the back of the neck before you snap. Maybe this dude came in one day and was like, all right, look, I hate that it's come to this. I really do. But please believe me, if you talk all the time or you never talked before, anybody can get it. All right. I'm not going to lose my voice this week because y'all don't want to learn. Anybody can get it. Anybody. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm begging y'all not to test me. As soon as somebody's talking to their friend, he's like, what? He must have been brandishing it. He must have been wielding it because apparently, like, from what I read, like 100 parents complained or something. This dude got arrested, and then I think they said like 2 students went to the hospital or something like that. And I'm sure you over there in interrogation tried to defend yourself. They should have thought about that asthma when they were doing all that talking, all right? How do we know it was a spray? What if it was that talking that caused the asthma attack? Over here, mouth moving 100 miles a minute. I'm trying to teach something. Listening is easy to breathe. Because I wonder how much he must have done it. You know what I mean? Was it just off of anything? Just one little noise? Huh? Or did he wait? Was he like writing on the board, letting the chatter sort of build? And then that's the thing. When you're a kid in class, you always think you're good if you're just not as loud as the loudest person. But that noise rises the entire level of the volume, because now if everybody's talking a little bit, somebody's going to get a little bit more confident, get a little louder. Everybody starts talking a little louder. And as long as they're not as loud as the loud one, now everybody's basically screaming just so they can hear themselves because they're all doing so much talking. And next thing you know, he whips around, hey! Y'all gonna learn today. Because even the school said that he did $55,000 worth of damage. How? It must just be in the walls now.